Good morning, everybody. Welcome to GROWL Connex. I'm Libby Olson, principal and founder of GROWL Agency. If you have any questions today during our conversation, please feel free to put those in the chat window if you're watching us on Zoom, or if you're watching us via Facebook Live, put those in the comments. My guest today is one of my favorite marketers, and I have had the pleasure to know him for several years, Greg Ahern. Greg, why don't you take a moment and introduce yourself, and then we'll dig in.
Well, welcome everybody. My name is Greg Ahern. I'm founder of Metrics and Chatbot. I've been in internet business since 1994. We specialize in conversion rate optimizations and AI chatbots. We have a suite of tools as well as doing consulting.
Awesome. So Greg, tell us a little bit more about chatbots. What is a chatbot?
So a chatbot's a program where people can converse with the computer in a conversational way. It's not live chat, which people get confused with. Live chat is a real person. It's kind of like texting with a real person. Although you can have a chatbot and you can switch to a live person if the user wants to talk to a human. Chatbots can review data really quickly, so they can pull up information that the person's looking for and present it with a video or an image or text or sending a link or a support ticket. And chatbots can be accessed on websites and social sites like Facebook, Slack. They can even work on SMS for like texting on your phone. You can be talking to a chatbot the whole time. And they can be engaged by texting or pressing buttons or voice, like Siri, that kind of thing.
So chatbots have grown a lot in popularity over the last couple of years. It's rare that you go to a website and they don't have some type of chat functionality. What do you think is driving this trend?
It's really two parts of that. There's the customer's expectations and then the company's bottom line. So from a customer side, the society is becoming more and more used to using computers. I mean, there's a whole generation now that grew up with computers. So they're expecting they have certain expectations that older people don't have. And the other piece is that everyone is more used to engaging on social systems and phone, like Alexa and Siri and things like that. So they're very comfortable engaging with a computer and talking to a computer, whereas, even 5 years ago, they weren't as much, although these systems have been around since then. The other piece is the way that technology is changing. More and more people are using their phone to access information. Websites haven't changed since the 1990s as far as navigation and finding information. And that way of doing things is really archaic, especially when there's so much more information you need or want to look for, like, thousands of products on an e-commerce site, for example. So instead of having this huge tree to find a pink sock, which is like in a site that sells everything from hammers to clothes, it's a lot easier just for a chatbot to say, I'm looking for socks, and it immediately pops it up. And so this shift is happening now, and I think that's part of what's going on. On the business side, companies want to service their clients and make them happy, their customers make them happy, and they also want to improve their bottom line. And so chatbots improve the revenue, and they also increase leads, business leads, and things like that. And so with happier customers and selling more products, companies want to invest in something that's going to improve their revenue. And so that's why they're investing in chatbots and AI systems.
So to expand on that a little bit, as marketers and business owners, the opportunities to spend money in marketing are numerous. And obviously we all have limited resources and time and to get in front of customers. What are the benefits for businesses to invest their time and resources in a chatbot?
Well, if you think about the sales cycle of any business, there's certain times when you ask someone a question, and when you ask the prospect a question. And so chatbots can engage the customer at the right time in that sales journey that they're going through. So they can ask so for example, if you're on a page and you're on the home page, the bot may ask a general kind of question. But if you're on a particular page about a particular topic, then it can ask a more specific question about that. Or for an e-commerce site, if you're on checkout, it might ask another different type of question. And so it can engage the user at the right time of the process, timing as well, like not right when they're on it, but maybe a few minutes afterwards or seconds or whatever it is, or if they've clicked these many number of pages, they know, oh, this person's interested in this, let's ask them this question, that kind of stuff. So it can detect where they are in that whole piece. You can also remember the conversation from the last time they were on the website. And so then they can pick up the conversation from where they left off. And it's also good for lead funnels. So that's more of an AI kind of system, whereas a simpler lead funnel type piece, you can ask particular questions and get more qualified leads and get more leads that the company wants. And so the whole lead funnel system is very simple to set with the chatbot.
Awesome. So are there different types of chat functionality more than just live or automated?
Yeah, so there's, even in the chatbot world, there's different types of bots. I mean, as I was just saying earlier, there's the lead bot, which is a very simple lead funnel type. I'm gonna ask some questions, you're gonna answer those questions, and that's it. Then there's e-commerce bots, which are gonna pull data in, and support bots do this too. They pull this data in, and then you can ask particular questions, and it will pull up that information quickly. And so, you know, for an e-commerce system, the effect is that you have so many products that can find exactly what you're looking for quickly. Same with support type things. And then you have bots that learn. And so there's machine learning. It's part of artificial intelligence or AI, and there's different ways of doing that. And so there's a number of different types. Basically, there's your AI chatbot, your lead bot, the e-commerce type bot, your support type bot. And so the back end, a lot of these systems are similar. How you approach and set them up are different.
So how do I know where to start? If I feel like I need to connect with my customers better, where would I kind of start this process in discovery?
I think first you have to step back and figure out what the company goals are. You know, where's the issue the company's having? Is it you have a very complex product and there's lots of questions before they can decide to make a decision on which one to get? Is it selling the products is easy, but there's often a couple questions in the setup of the product or service that they have. And so that's bogging down your whole onboarding of your product or service. So things like that can speed that up, and then they can start maybe their recurring revenue for the monthly subscription, which you can't kick off unless they set up the thing you just sent them. You know, things like that. Or, yeah, I mean, you have to look at that piece. And then once you figure that out, then you can step back and say, okay, this is what our customers are looking for. How are we going to get that quickly? We want them to know there's a coupon, and we want them to know there's some deal, right? And then we want them to know that we offer these 3 types of things for the 3 types of use cases that we serve. And then we have to find out which use case they want right away, and then start providing them the information they need. So that's kind of one example. So it really depends on the type of, you have to back up and look at that piece, and then building it out is kind of straightforward after that, especially if you already have data, like we have all this call center data from support tickets, or we have a huge back-end system like that, or we have the database on Shopify, and we just pull that right in right away, we're done in 2 minutes, you know, that kind of stuff. So then it's just building it out, and then once that's done, then we have to train the bot to learn. And so that's kind of the next step after that.
So how long does it take to create a bot, and a chat bot, and what's required from the business? If you know, someone like us worked with Ometrics to create a bot on our site, what's required from me as a business owner?
You know, if it's a simple bot, like a lead bot, then we just need to know what are those questions you want to qualify the lead, and to draw them into, oh, that's a good question. That's exactly what I need. Here, I'll give you my email address now, because I know you're meeting my needs. So that funnel, building that out, that can take, you know, 2 minutes. That's pretty straightforward. The commerce and support type bots, those could take, you know, a week to a couple weeks, depending on how complex they are. The real key with building a more complex bot is to build the first part and then launch it. And then we watch it every day. And when there's an issue, we'll call fallback, we learn, oh, wait, they're asking for this thing. Well, they're asking it this way. Okay, we need to change the intent so we understand that intent and answer that question quickly. And that's how it becomes smarter and smarter over time. There's machine learning, and then there's human in the loop. So machine learning is when the computer does it all by itself. And that's quite dangerous as far as from a society's standpoint. There's been a bunch of failures in that realm. Human in the loop is where most systems work. The bigger systems, they have a combination of machine learning and human in the loop to make sure that everything is correct, you know.
And what do you mean by human in the loop? What does that look like?
So human in the loop is we monitor the questions and fallbacks that are coming in every day. And then we correct a new way of saying thank you, maybe TY now, instead of thanks. And so there's new acronyms in our language that are always changing, and those have to be updated. Or it could be a new competitor came out with a new product. And they're saying, hey, what do you do with are you like Blue Jay? We're like, Blue Jay, what does that have to do with anything? Oh, it's a competitor product. We didn't know about that. You know, we let the client know. Then we have an answer for Blue Jay. Yeah, but it doesn't work like ours does because of this, whatever. So there's always stuff like that coming in. There's also other things we see, like errors on the site, coupon codes not working, stuff like that. But as far as the learning goes, it's better to build the base part. And then in that first month, the number of fallbacks drops significantly. And then it takes another 2 or 3 months to really get the nuances. And then after that, it's you're always monitoring this, but you pick up these slight insights, marketing insights, and how the consumer is really thinking. I mean, one way to think about a chatbot in general is, imagine if someone walked into the store, a physical store, and they asked a question, and the salesperson came up and they introduced themselves, they maybe had some small chatter, and then they ask these questions to find out exactly what that person wants. That's what the chatbot's doing. And there's lots of nuances in that kind of conversation, which we can think about and plan all day long, but the reality is you gotta send it live to see what's really going on.
Yeah. Do you think consumers ask more questions via chatbot than if they were either on with a sales representative or in a form message, or do you think you can gather more information from them? Are they more willing to give information?
Yeah, it's ironic because I mean the latest tests are like 63% prefer to talk to a chatbot than live chat. And you think about it, it's like, well, they don't think anything's being copied or something personal is being shared, which of course isn't true. We collect all the data. Not that we read all of it, it's too much, but it's all there. And then there is no feeling of like, this guy's gonna sell me. I'm gonna get pressured into a sale. I don't want to talk to a live person right now. I just want to know, does it come in pink or whatever? And so that's why people converse more with the bots than they do live chat. Now, in some cases, like, I can't load your software. What's the driver I need for it? I'm on this particular system. And oh, by the way, there's this weird thing. I'm on satellite, and so I have a lag of whatever. And when you start getting into some stuff like that, then it's better to talk to a human. And they'll be fine. I mean, they'll be more willing to talk to a human than the chatbot. But on most upper level funnel stuff, learning about getting over the obstacles of a product or service, finding out what kind of product they want, they talk with the chatbot more.
Interesting. So how do we know if it worked? What are the typical ways that you measure success, and how does a business measure success with a chatbot?
So most systems, our system included, have dashboards that show you data that says, how many people interacted, how many of those purchased, how many fallbacks do you have, that kind of thing. So we see 15 to 35% lift in revenue for e-commerce sites when they engage with the chatbot. They buy more, they buy higher, they spend more money when they engage with the chatbot. Other companies, I've seen reports from other companies saying around 17%. So it's a good number to take for 15 to 30, what have you. On the business lead side, we see a 5 to 15% lift in leads. But leads are tricky, and it's really the quality of the lead. So measuring just, I got more leads, it could be junk. So, but in general, they engage more and provide stuff, you know, compared to like a pop-up, for example. Then there's all these other nuances. Like I had one client, they're a bed and breakfast. And so it's a service type industry. And I was concerned that they were getting weren't getting increase in bookings. And they weren't getting less, but they weren't getting an increase. And so when I talked to the client, they're like, oh no, this is great. You saved me 110 phone calls last month. I'm like, oh, so she's not measuring bookings. She's measuring by, am I getting interrupted with these silly little questions about my B&B? You know, they have like 20 different B&Bs rooms. Yeah. So, I mean, it all depends what your pain point is. If a B2B customer, one B2B customer that sells products, and they get a lot of questions about zippers. Like, oh, something's going on with our zippers. And so they, you know, now talk about their zippers and what the warranty is, and blah, blah. That same one had a huge increase in people asking for a mail catalog. So, I mean, that's kind of interesting that that mail is so important for that particular business and client. And so that told them that, you know, direct mail can really help us here, because they want something physical before they make their decision or pass it around to buy something. So there's nuances like that, insights you can learn. We have CBD clients that the customers know nothing about CBD. So there's a lot of education to learn, like, no, it's not going to fix this. It may fix that. We don't know if it fixes this. This is the strength you want, or you want to, what's the difference between taking it, you know, as an oil or a gummy, or putting it on your skin, and all those things that most of the public doesn't know about. This is a great way for them to educate them. There's also a reduction of support tickets for some of our clients, which, what I mean by that is it's answering the simple questions so that the support team can spend time on the more complex ones and help out the clients. And that goes both ways. The employees are more happy to answer complex ones and say, no, did you turn your monitor on, for things like that, compared to, you know, a more complex answers about whatever's being done. So that reduces the monotony of their job. And the consumer likes it because they're immediately getting the answer they need, and they can go off instead of waiting for someone in live chat to be in a queue and everything else. So, you know, the insights we get that we report can vary from technical issues like, you know, coupons not working, to more, you know, things you wouldn't really notice about a customer looking for something that, oh, we sell that, but gee, we don't have it on the homepage, and who knew that, you know, toilet paper and masks would be the big thing to sell right now, but everyone's asking for it, so let's get it on the homepage instead of having it buried somewhere else in the site. And so things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm thinking back to that CBD example that you were sharing. You know, a lot of times I think patrons don't know what to ask in a product like that, where there's so much education that needs to happen that don't even, so the prompting, I think, can help educate in little bits without requiring the user to know what to ask or know what to look for on their website, and can kind of learn in those little tidbits. That's interesting.
Yeah, and you can imagine, like, if someone walked into a store, the salesperson would immediately say, oh, you have this particular illness, or you have this type of pain, or you can't sleep, whatever the issue is, and then narrow that down to the right product and educating them to get over it. No, you're not going to get high when you take this, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so now the bot can handle that.
Exactly. So with chatbots growing in popularity and people digging into sites less and less, and kind of relying on chatbots to have that conversation, does this change an SEO strategy at all?
So it doesn't change the SEO. Well, it could change, let me put it this way. It doesn't affect your SEO. If you have a chatbot on your site, you're not going to get ranked better. But you're going to gather information that you can use in your SEO strategy. For example, you're going to see new keywords that are coming up. And this could help not SEO, but also SEM, you know, for paid advertising, because you're going to start seeing long-term keywords coming in, or phrases that you can use in advertising and in your organic positioning. And you can track all those keywords and see what kind of questions are being asked. And that comes to the next piece, where if everyone's asking a question about XYZ, maybe you should write a blog on that. And it'll give you like content ideas to do certain things. And that's what that's the other piece where it can help your strategies. You can get content ideas, you can understand the pain points of your clients and what they're really looking for, which is one of the things Google ranks because those questions are coming in. And then you get all the data on keywords and key phrases.
Yeah, that's awesome. As we're closing in kind of at the end of our half hour, what are those key takeaways people need to think about if they're thinking about chatbot technology?
So like I alluded to earlier, you need to think about where the pain point is for your company as well as for the consumer. And then that's the base of what chatbot's this function in life is going to be. When you're building the bot, start slowly, get something out there, see how it's being used, and then adjust. Constantly adjusting as you build the bot and what it's going to learn. Another good key thing to do is don't build a Siri or an Alexa. Only focus very narrowly on what you're offering. This will allow the bot to be very smart in pens and know nothing else about anything else. But when the person asks about a particular product, it's very deep. And that will make it more efficient for both the consumer as well as building it out. Because if you want to make it so that it talks about the weather, the politics, what kind of shoe was popular in 1970, it's an endless game. You're never done finishing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you have a really great offer for people who are trying, want to learn more and discover more about chatbots. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So we have a course that we're launching soon, a chatbot course that's free. So you can sign up for that at ametrics.com at chatbot. Sorry, I'll say this again. ametrics.com/chatbot course. And then when we launch that, every other day we'll send out an email that will go over a different segment, everything from what kind of chatbot should I do, to how to build it, what things you need to think about, and all when you start getting to intents and replies and all the other stuff. And then we offer a free Leadbot and free chatbots. So you're welcome to come and play with them. They're on chatbot.com. And of course, we're always here to help you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Greg. Really appreciate it. We will put that chatbot course on our website, growlagency.com/Connex. So you can find that, a re-recording of this video or webinar on demand. And thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you.